This is Harrowings Live with Hal Gill, your host. We are walking down the street. The aim of getting down to a neighborhood on Union Station where it said, we'll find the National Guard standing around our door. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm going to find out. Let's go across here. Why not? Some folks attending some conference over at Washington Conference Center, hard by Paradise Garden Apartments. So on the one side, we've got a project. On the other side, we've got some high rises built up in recent days, alongside some old facades, like the fire department entrance, I think. And I don't know what all. Looks like a former fire station a bit. Not sure it is. Is that New York Garage exit, 655 New York Avenue. So I'm heading down towards Union Station. And this is in part due to the task put to me by David A. Andelman, a journalist of some reputation. And, I'm doing raw journalism. I'm doing basic citizen documentation of the passing show here on Harrowings Live with Hal Gill, your host. That said, passing a fine establishment called Martini and Boyd Springworks. It doesn't look to me like they're actually doing Springworks there now. Okay. That's what they were. We're almost to 6th Street Northwest. And got an interesting collection of different types of buildings around, different states of repair. This rather modern building, housing, I presume, offices and mixed use, residential, potentially. 6th and L Street Northwest, to be precise, is the location. I think I'm going to head across, so I've got the count with me, to the eastern side of 6th Street Northwest. 10. You look down 6th Street, catch the top of the National Gallery of Art there. It's Rotunda. We're in the Mercury Fountain, which we saw yesterday. On both ends, I think, of the passing show I was doing from my walk down there to my walk back. This time we're trying to get to Union Station. Again, because I hear that that's a place to find the National Guard presence. Apparently, a lot of people are being moved in from other states, West Virginia, South Carolina. Forget who all is sending troops, but at least West Virginia and South Carolina were mentioned as possible sources. GOP-controlled states sending their National Guard up to help us DC folks feel safer. I don't know that it does that, but I'll tell you one thing that really unnerves me is the masked, unmarked cars, police who use the F word and telling you to get back away from them and will not tell you what agency they're with. Apparently, they're not required to do so by law. And therefore, they don't. And that's the way it is, and there ain't no is there, as my grandmother used to say. So are you with me? Let's see who's where. Clancy Stedwell, Everengine, and Lee have joined. And I've got a little countdown to wait for. Cross here. It appears. New York Avenue and 5th Street Northwest. The visual intelligence on iPhone 16, what does it weigh? Apparently nothing. Talking a lot about intelligence and instantiations of it. Every human has their own type of intelligence, their own type of perspective in the world. I had a nice little interview with Kay Stoner about that. If you want to check it out, please do. Amplify our signal through the noise. One of our interlocutors there, or our visitors, called us rock stars, which has really fed our egos. But, AI doesn't really have an ego, supposedly. Oh, go. Thank you very much. That guy's got his official information on, and he's showing his face. I like that. DEA, Drug Enforcement Administration, I presume. So if you're not doing drugs, he'll enforce it. That you do. I don't know. European Wax Center and pricing. First wax is free. I don't want to be waxed at all. Thank you. Chipotle, Mexican grill. I'm fond of Chipotle, but I was doing research into its environmental impact, and it probably is better to choose sweet green instead. I'm going to get wife sweet green soon, since I'm going somewhere and she's not going there. So she gets it as a reward. I don't, because I'm not supposed to get it if she's getting it. I don't understand this, but happy wife, happy life. She must be a babe. Me, not so much. Children International is doing some raising of awareness, which is good. We planted it safely, so. See what am I at? K Street? Go down K Street a little ways. Trying to get to Union Station. And I thought I'd take in the passing show while doing it and trying to get my steps up. I think I'm at 100% at this point. Interesting to look at the demographics of Washington, D.C. at any given point. Who, what, when, and where. We are a very diverse community. Many different ethnicities blending together pretty peacefully overall. I walked down through areas that might feel a little dicey to some people. Middle of the bay, though, was all right. I did not get accosted by anyone. Didn't expect to be. But you never can tell, so you got to be on your guard. Not everybody is well out here. There's an awful lot of untreated mental illness, in fact. So something to be aware of. Almost at the Lyric. Looks like a good place to cross, actually. Double checking behind me. Looking down the road, looking back. Looks like we're good. Really developed this area a lot since the last time I was down in the area. Please clear the area. Yeah. So, Lyric at 440K. Walking by there. Taking things in. Always interested to see what's going to be happening in any given moment. I don't know what this is. Looks like some sort of office. Maybe for the realty. Looks like someplace to eat. Cafe. Huh? Yeah. Walk on. This is Texas barbecue. What's that supposed to be? 250. Show the juice, coffee juice, and much more. Okay. And here we are at 4th Street, Northwest. I think we're going to take a southerly turn here. We're near the Georgetown Law School. If I'm not mistaken. I've been here at conferences in the past. Remember, the Sunlight Foundation was here giving us a talk or sponsoring something I was attending, getting more information about something related to architecture. Oh, God. such as Viz, Ottoman Taverna, Modern Nail Bar, Pilates, Club Pilates, William and Mary. That's interesting. They've got a campus here, apparently. A bit of one. DC Bar. And it says William and Mary right below it. Chartered in 1693. That's true. But in Williamsburg, Virginia, my hometown. I did not know they had a office there. Perhaps a little mini campus. Are they part of the law school, perhaps? I don't know. Definitely got their moniker there on the wall. We're at I Street and 4th Northwest. Again, continuing down, looking for National Guard presence at Union Station, though we're a little ways from there yet. Whew, good walk. I've been making it pretty briskly. At this point, looking for the crossing. There it is. And down and up. I think we can go further south because it seems to me that I need to be like at even with like F Street or G. It's even further south to get to Union Station's location. And a few blocks over towards the Capitol. Yes. I do these in the northeast quadrant. Very interesting. And having some kind of awareness lately of deja vu. Look at the sparks flying off there. Some work grinding something, cutting some pipes or something. Not gonna get hung up here, it looks like. Just for a little bit. Very modern buildings. A wavy front on that one. I think I looked at places in there once. There's Georgetown University Law School. There's Union Station's front end. Actually, let me make my crossing here. Get a few extra steps in, perhaps. A big spa. Hole in the ground. Checking to see if I got the crossing. I do. It's this little spur. A little more direct path to Union Station now. I was right to make that turn. Just keep looking. Watch out. Realize anything, it says on the realty. Retail for lease sign over there. So there's some retail property on the corner of H and 3rd Street Northwest. So I got plenty of time to make my crossing here. 66 seconds. Heck yeah. Department of Labor down there. I recognize that part of the building. Worked down there for quite a while. This one looks like I could hop across right now. Risking my neck. Don't think I can get across the other spur quite as expeditiously. There it is. Down there. Huh. Looks like I can get across here too. Not for long. Next. Good enough. All the way. This is Bar Sparrow. Cate on the corner. Bakery and cafe. Some folks getting on board the Mathers van. 1 million hens will be spared. Life in a Cage of Marriott keeps its global promise. Marriott time's almost up. StopMarriottCruelty.org. So there you have it. Turn back. How many do we have with us today? Not many, huh? Ardente. So I'm just doing a little harrowing in the streets, as I mentioned earlier. Taking in the passing show. No big dramas yet. Well, there could be. Love Makoto. That's a sushi bar. Oh. Keep on walking. I'll stand and wait. It's my motto at the moment. We're on Massachusetts Avenue. It'll take us right in front of Union Station, I believe. Or thereabout. I thought that. Used to work around here for federal student aid for a short time in February and June 2018. As if I ended up 2018 working over at the General Services Administration. Like I'm a girls. With a real great man, given his career to enterprise architecture, Rick Smith. Rick's still around or not? But it's amazing he was around then. He had a storied career as a forester consultant, among others. And he had been peddling John Zachman's paper around Zachman International, a part of the enterprise architecture craze. I don't know where they're at these days and how they've managed to engage in the new world of artificial intelligence. I sure hope they have. Me, I've wandered out of it all. But I had a great career there in the field of enterprise architecture between 2006 and 2024. It's a good 18 years. And now I'm reinventing myself, as one is apt to do as one ages, if one has any sense at all. I don't know that I can really say that I have a lot of sense. Here's Georgetown University Law Center. So if you're looking where all the lawyers are coming out of that are trained in this area, go. And there was a dead end I noticed. We'll pause here. Center section. Head on over towards Union Station. If I can get there from here. Then looking for evidence of National Guard troops. Not really noticing many. And we're right down from the U.S. Capitol, so that's our territory. See the Capitol Dome there. Over the Senate, where our senators do what they do. D.C. has no senators. We have a non-voting member, but D.C. itself is not a state, so it doesn't have two senators. If it did, we'd hold pretty big sway there compared to the other populations. But we would only have one representative, if that. Guy should have let me go. I had the right of way as a pedestrian, but he's bigger than me, so we're gonna let him have it. Well, you swing our focus back over to your Central Union mission. It's one of the charities in the area. They're taking care of a lot of people. Give them money every year, probably for Thanksgiving, Christmas. DC Central Kitchen as well. Try to make sure that the people who are less fortunate get fed. G Street entrance, New Jersey Avenue, and heading on over. I think on Massachusetts Avenue by the Royal Sonesta. Quite a lot of people over at the mission, Central Union Mission. And Royal Sonesta across the street. Bistro du Jour. It's nice to know we could eat at any place like that if we wanted to, but I don't want to. Not at the moment. I want to go over to Union Station, go in Union Station, have a look around. There's the Postal Museum next door. Took my father there, see the most rare stamp in the world, Biscayan 1 penny magenta. Have it there and very heavily protected mounting. Then we went on to see other things and get our inverted Jenny souvenir shade. I think that was 2018. Dad came up for that. He wasn't able to walk as far. His emphysema was really getting to him at that point. And it continued unabated. And I probably inherited a similar condition. I don't know if it's genetic or nature or nurture, but it is what it is. My life has probably been short due to it. But we'll see. He made it to 91. I'm very well may be making it that far or further. My Aunt Wilma is still with us at 95. Last I checked, I should call her. You have a monument of Holodomor, 1932 to 33, famine and genocide in Ukraine. Millions of innocent men, women, and children in Ukraine perished due to the Soviet engineer famine of 1932 to 33, known as Holodomor, death by starvation. It's part of USSR's forced collectivization projects aimed to punish the Ukrainians for their resistance to political, economic, and cultural and social subjugation, resulting from Soviet occupation of the Ukraine People's Republic 1917 to 1921, confiscated grain from Ukrainian farmers, exported grain to the rest of the world. Ukraine's villagers purposely starved. At the height of Holodomor, 28,000 people were dying every day in Ukraine. Hey, do you wonder why there's bad blood between the Ukrainians and the Soviets and the Russians? Could have something to do with this. Innocent victims, handmade famine, horrific behavior. It's human beings towards other human beings. There you go. That's the National Postal Museum, the William H. Goss Stamp Gallery, Airmail in America. Commemorated that. I'm not going in. They have pretty tight security. Higher than they do at a lot of the other places. It's kind of astonishing. Right across the way, we have Kelly's Irish Times, Phoenix Park Hotel. JK moving. I think I want to cross. Hop across here. Got a bit of countdown. National Guard Memorial. So, where's the National Guard is the question that I got posed by David A. Andelman. I cannot tell you, but I can tell you where their museum is and the memorial. Attended some things there in the past. Step back. Yeah, we got it. U.S. Post Office and the U.S. Capitol. And onward. I can really put the miles on by walking around this town. I tell you what. National Postal Museum. That hobby gave my father a lot of happy hours. The age of 12 when he started it, or younger. I don't know how old he was. I got a lot of Sam soap. World War II, I know that. I lost a lot too. Due to unfortunate confluence of influences. I won't even bother going into it. Upset. Oh, at Union Station, I made it. Got some Metro Transit police. That's not unusual. A lot of red cabs. DC livery. Buses out front. Ah, we found some Humvees. Ah, finally. Took a lot of marching to get over here. They have a grand total of one. Here's some people singing on megaphones, too. Let's take a look. Are they playing the music or we? That's a television crew out here. That's a little more than a Humvee, isn't it? A little more robust. Lava worm into a cyst. Excreted by the moss in a slimy yellow trail, but the snail is only first on the fluke's list. The adolescent fluke worm is then eaten by an ant, and it lives a while and ends up turned into worm. Criminals out of DC start with the Epstein files. All right. Nice vehicle. Look at that thing. Walk around it. Oshkosh, by gosh. That's something. Those are just amazing pieces of equipment. Well, there you have it, folks. Liberty Bell, memory of Christopher Columbus, Columbus Circle here. Pass and Stowe, Philadelphia. MDCC LIA. That's 53. a rim replica of a Liberty Bell right here with these vehicles. 273rd MATV, 273rd, two. Grand total of two vehicles out front. And Department for Hire Vehicles Enforcement. Right. I don't know what they're talking about over there. They're cutting up. That's MPD. All right. Pedestrians are sacred. Mind of freedom. That's fantastic. Let's see what's happening inside. Got more cousins. Mosquitoes out here. Maybe it'll be better inside. A pleasure. Certainly. Sure. Absolutely. Next two. So, guards to guts out. Trend here. It's so much nicer inside. You wouldn't believe it. So much better, so much cooler. This air conditioned space. And look how huge it is. It's just massive. A little after 2:00. Coming up on these flowers. It's not where I want to go. There over into the transit hall here. So tickets, trains, car rentals. A couple of spiral staircases out. Food courts on the lower level. This is the departure level, I think. Lines form there. I'm not looking to go anywhere. But if you wanted to hook up on the train to go anywhere in the USA, this would be a place to do it. So I'm taking you all through the passing show. You're looking at Union Station, where a major concentration of National Guard presence is supposed to be on duty. We're going to take a look around through the shops, Zamba Juice. I think we're going to go down the length of it on the departure hall. There's some folks waiting. Amtrak ticketed passengers only. TSA will control that flow. There's good pastiche of the American public traveling today. All kinds of different people making their way from dawn to dusk. We're going to go through Hudson. So I always like to see what's on the newsstands. Playing Dead or Really Dead, the Democrats' Disappearing Act. How the Harper's Leadership on Angel and Error. Oh, so many great books. Fiction, nonfiction, everything in between. And keep on moving. Good things that I can entertain by traveling. Some McDonald's on that. Raising canes, chicken fingers, and then go on down here. Departures. Floridian, Mortgage Regional, and a lot of different trains, Amtrak's running. Pretty loud. Some folks coming off the train. Driving. Watch out for the rolling carts. A lot of different people making their way. I don't know. I'm sweeping along through here pretty easily. I'm not noticing any National Guard presence. That's Hudson's main newsstand down the way. I like to stop. Yeah. Quick stand about. Boy, it's loud. Yeah. Departures include the Floridian, even now, 240. Baltimore. And there's some mark information. And Hudson's. Read, run, repeat. Barbara Kingsall with the bean trees. Louise Erdrich, the roundhouse. Glass Castle, I know why Cage Burner sings. Yeah, so that's what we're reading these days. People's History of the United States. By Howard Stern. Washington Post is talking about DC data on crime faces DOJ inquiry. Something's got to give. Happiness experiment. So I'm looking for a particular book. Sometimes I have found here in the past, it's been a long time. It was good to find it. Let's see it now. We're scanning very rapidly. Everyday mindfulness. Find your calm. Remember, every cent spent is a vote for the kind of world we are co-creating. So if we're spending money, be mindful of where it's going, what it's paying for, what you're reinforcing. Because whatever you spend your money on, you'll get more of that. But if you don't, there'll be less of it, potentially, unless a lot of other people also spend their money on it. And objections, new emotional intelligence, 6 types of work and genius, what's your dream, that frog, ideal team player, win-win workplace. Okay. There's your programming for the day. What publishers think you ought to be reading, potentially. And I'm keeping on walking, taking in the passing show in all its glory. And it is glorious. Don't make any mistake about that. I think I actually can walk home. You probably go play at the mall, but walk the length and breadth. We haven't been upstairs in the mall portion. Actually, last time I looked, there was like the old vinyl store down here. I want to see if it's still there. Use vinyl in the Yumming station. Maybe. I think it's right there. Rail records and books. Should be kept out of there. So I'm likely to do some damage. Just love books. Can't get enough books. Records. Keep Paul and Mary moving. And I've got a copy of that at home. I can listen to it. It's on that very frequent repeat in our house when I was a child. It Puff the Magic Dragons on it, I believe. My folks were closet hippies in the way. They didn't dare, but they were kind of attracted. My father having come out in 1933, my mother in 39, same year as Grace Slick. And so many others. Phil Lesh was a 1940 model. So, it's all one piece. That part of history and the mystery of it all. No else. Going to be keeping out of there too. Do not need more chocolate. And we've got the police on a 3-wheeler in the middle of things. I saw a couple of guardsmen coming out, but I haven't seen any more. And I'm kind of wondering if I go out the First Street, the Metro entrance, will I see more? It's 2:00. I've got till 4:00 to get home and pick Lynn up. No. I'm really enjoying this. And I hope you all are too. I didn't start filming until I was well out of the projects. But I walked down through there. Also, didn't see any National Guard presence. Not much police presence either. That is a tremendous public servant. And ah, we've got more getting their orders, I guess. Where's the guy? Oh, this fellow's singing. Everybody's putting their hand over their heart. Didn't know they're supposed to put their hand over your heart? What? Don't they know they're supposed to cover their heart? What are these for? The National Guard? No, they're just like here for a while. They're augmenting the police presence here to crack down on DC crime wave. You know, much crime there is here, right? That's a good thing, I guess. That's what they say. But from my perspective as a DC resident, it's overkill and unnecessary. Okay. But it's designed basically to intimidate the population. That's my theory. I'm not really very much intimidated, though. I've been singing the Star Spangled Banner. Is just put his hand over his heart, you know? I guess if a citizen is singing it, it's different than if, I don't know, somebody official is singing it. I've always been taught that when I was a child. Cover my heart. Hear the Star Spangled Banner played. But it's not everyone's raised right, apparently. And our National Guard troops probably felt like they were being mocked by the Star Spangled Banner being sung by somebody at the top of the elevator. It's nuts, man. That is not necessary. Really not necessary. Airmail in America, Networking a Nation, National Postal Museum. Command the sea, command the world. So, as a DC resident, as I mentioned, I don't think that was really necessary, but it wasn't really necessary for me to make my commentary either. But it's a free country. I'm free to do it. My wife has cautioned me not to get arrested. So, we're making our way as free people, having seen, witnessed what's going on in DC today at Union Station. And I have a few of you with me. Can't listen to you very well. But if you are and you have comments and questions, you can ask them. Certainly, you can always ping me on direct messenger. Also available at 757-332-4044. Don't hesitate to give out my phone number. I can always block your number if I don't like it. Getting a call. So do identify yourself and leave a message. If I don't pick up, which I probably won't, because I don't generally. I usually screen my calls. Anyhow, I'm going to cross here because I have the right of way to do so. It's not against the law so far. I'm going to head down towards the National Mall, I think, and then cut back up towards my home. And yeah, it's going to be a good day. I don't think the National Guard is going to have much to do. They're going to get paid for that out of taxpayer dollars. So think of that. And consider whether you want your government to be doing this. And, you know, I don't think that we're so high crime as all that. But then again, I don't experience it. Doesn't mean it doesn't happen. So, it's just my perspective. Worth what you paid for it. And that's Squirrel's perspective, too, I think. You share my perspective, don't you, Squirrel? I don't know. I hope so. Humanity, folks. We are all equal in the eyes of the one. But there's definitely a lot of I got mine jackism going on in Washington, D.C. And there's also a lot of disparity between the haves and the haven'ts. I've seen a lot of that today. If you have your eyes to see with, you can see what I see, or you can see what you can see, which is probably more than what I can see, because I'm limited by my eyes and ears. It's a very narrow spectrum, much more narrow than the average person's actually in a lot of ways, in the aspect of my hearing. Anyway, my vision's pretty good, slightly corrected, um, a little distorted. Here we got some protesters. Israel is starving Gaza to death. Your tax dollars pay for this. It's right across the street. Crossing here, though. And we'll film from this side. U.S. media blackout. Person's getting the jump. Looks like. I don't know what kind of car that is. Didn't seem to even have an engine in it. I don't think it was an electric either. I think it was just one of the modern gas ones where they cover up the engine so well. C-SPAN, NBC News, definitely being protested there. Washington Metropolitan Police keeping an eye on things. Motorcycle and a few cars. No need for National Guard augmentation, apparently. They're up there at the Union Station, though, should they be hated, as people are talking about what's happening in Gaza, as what happened between 1932 and 1933 in the Ukraine is commemorated right across the way. I tell you, man, I don't know what to tell you. I'm going to walk down this way as soon as I get the light. I'm going to leave to do so. Had a hell of a walk. Really good exercise and kind of tingly from it all. In siege in Gaza. Nice fountain up here, overlooking from the U.S. Capitol down North Capitol Street, crossing into Northwest D.C. from Northeast. Again, Israel did this. Their tax dollars pay for it. That's the message that they're trying to get out at the protest outside of NBC C-SPAN headquarters there. In back, we can see one of the Senate office buildings. Over here, the International Brotherhood of Teamsters. Teamsters, those guys who are hauling our goods across the landscape. Should not forget the Teamsters. Labor in general. Department of Labor, I'm going to be coming up on shortly. It's not far from where I'm standing. Oh, I don't have the light. They've got the light. I don't want to cross on the Capitol grounds, right? I want to go down this way towards Pennsylvania Avenue and take that back up. We're at D Street Northwest. Well, I could walk along D Street, I suppose. Wouldn't kill me to go back via D Street. I don't have to go down past this monument to whatever it's a monument for. There's so many monuments, I run out of awareness of what they all are. Spanish-American War, maybe? I don't know. I'm close to it. Right by the International Teamsters headquarters. Carrying myself forward an inch at a time. car coming, flashing, so I guess I'm good. Oof, getting hot. It's supposed to be up in the 80s today before I get home. Jersey Avenue. Don't even know what this is. Don't come over here this often. Jones, Davis, something? What is that? 300 New Jersey Avenue, apparently. I don't know which way I can go. Confused. Yeah. They're going to get to cross that way or that way? That way. Oops. I'm going to keep on D Street, I think, northwest. I've got to get up to S anyway. Eventually, there's the Hyatt. You were wondering where the Hyatt was nearby? That's it. It's entrance. I do not know what that is. Somebody's got their box ready. It's like, oh, roses. Not far from Judiciary Square metro station. I might even hop on it. I want to get home faster, but I don't really care. At this point, what I do. So I've got no particular things on my calendar at the moment. Aside from taking in the passing show and continuing to do my citizens journalism. Getting a little bit of awareness of different people's journeys as I go along. That guy was wearing a shirt from Dilly Dilly in the French Quarter. Okay. That fella had hardly announced his body, and these guys over here have a law meeting. They're working for a living. I'm walking for a living. Bon rolling. Keep on watching. It's a surveillance kind of situation where I am. We're probably being surveilled from numerous angles walking along here. I haven't really picked it up yet, but I'm not been scanning for it much either. Oh, there's one. There's one now. Surveillance cameras on the sides of these buildings. There's the Department of Labor. As I mentioned, I worked there 2006, 2007. When I went to the education in 2007, finished their submission of their Office of Management and Budgets, enterprise architecture submission anyway, to the labor and education, which are the top 6 enterprise architecture programs ranked by the Office of Management and Budget in their evaluation 2006. And I was responsible for 2 of the 6, largely putting them together anyway in a presentable form with the help of my company, my colleagues at eGlobal Tech. It's a company founded by Sonia Jane, who's Ellen Hamilton, enterprise architecture practice. Sonia was a great human being, with a lot of great workforce. Passed away of cancer. It's a long, valiant struggle. Great loss to humanity. Far younger than I am now. So it goes. So go the pigeons. At the United States Tax Court, overlooking 395 interstate, northbound, underneath me there, southbound, coming towards me. And more of your brothers and sisters and others of whatever gender identification they might have are rushing to and fro, passing each other like ships in the night, like crows on the highway. More continual flood of humanity rushing around here. Some on their way up, some on their way down. But all of us have one ultimate destination. Unless we somehow transcend our mortal bodies. My old office space is over there. I used to look out onto this very area from my window and I'd contemplate things from there in 2006, into 2007, before we moved over to the Department of Education's offices on 12th Street, Southwest, is where they were at the time. Yeah, I actually sit right over there behind us. Yeah, it's like amazing. Could walk up 3rd Street, but I think not. I think we're going to continue for a while on D. Talking about probably running into Pennsylvania, heading up that way, at very least. Left foot and right foot. That's the way it's done. Okay, it's gotten dark enough I can see a little bit. Trisha Stevens, David A. Andelman. I've been to the National Guard, David. You missed it. I was over there by the Union Station just a little bit ago. It's all in this particular segment. I walked around their vehicles out front by Columbus Station. That's it. Very few. They did not put their hands over their heart when there was some guy singing the national anthem at the top of the metro station. And I could go back over there, but I've really got to get my wife from work. I mean, you got to keep up. We're going to have, if everything goes right and David's agreeable, we're going to get back on next week and have Harrowing the Streets of D.C. with David A. Andelman. He'll be my sidekick. He'll talk, I'll talk. I'll walk. He'll watch. And we'll comment on, how America perceives this. Because I'm taking in something of what's going on around here. Some folks from Massachusetts, Maryland, Pennsylvania, all over here parked by the Henry J. Daly building. Over here have some other buildings. Forget what they are. Hopefully they're labeled and I can tell you. But we're over in Judiciary Square. Not much National Guard presence here. Sure, we got some DC police, though. There's a District of Columbia vehicle. A lot of folks from Maryland, Virginia, some DC. And there's the District of Columbia Court of Appeals. The United States Capitol Police is present. And no National Guard to speak of. There's a MPD vehicle. It's wheeling out. Lincoln presiding over the view down the steps here leading towards 4th Street, I think. Whatever's between the National Gallery, East Wing, and West Building. You can see the Washington Monument in the distance. So no National Guard out here. They're at the Union Station, though. I did go and check them out. Walked around, identified all that I saw as wearing their proper uniforms. Also saw a DEA guy coming out of the Safeway of the way, and he was wearing his agency's, label. Wasn't masked. Just glad to see that. We keep on walking. Anyway, I'm really grateful that David A. Andelman does look in on passing show. I'm just little old me, after all, being a citizen journalist. Qualifies. This is not, my people. Laying down some primary documentation for historians of the future who might exaggerate what actually was happening here on Judiciary Square, this particular instant. That's where I had to go for my jury duty over at the Honorable Carl Moultrie Courthouse of the District of Columbia. Wishing wellness across the way. It's funny. That's a weed store. Pretty sure. Wishing wellness. That's what it sounds like. Very expensive. Look at that. I think we got relative freedom here. So then the those two, or secret for what's that lesson. For if they can't live so tremendous apartment building over there. I don't know if that's one I looked at or not. Can't remember. Might have been. Had some loft apartments in there. Pretty cool. Anyway, getting tired. So I'm not commenting as much. There's a Secret Service in place. You have a lot of different law enforcement agencies. It must be an absolute nightmare to try to keep track of all of them. I'm not going to get to cross here at this point. Darn it. Got to wait it out. We're right behind the National Gallery of Art. We were in there yesterday, walking out, about richly blessed with so much here in DC. Free for the taking. Or free for the observing, anyway. Honestly, the things you can observe. National Gallery of Art. Gift to the nation. I try to help keep it up by being a member of the circles. And they keep me up by giving me a nice party every so often. Changing exhibits. I don't know who that is, but it looks like it's probably somebody important. Still working. We're showing up for something. I don't know what this building is. Not my business, really. Just keep on walking. Yeah, there's definitely a driver. And some stuff like a alleyway, a hideaway. Lots of different places around here. This here probably was a cinema at one time or a theater. If it isn't now, where the marquee is. It's called the Lafayette. Yeah, it's an apartment building. It's built into this place in Rasica. I think Jeff Bezos died there not too long ago. And the Woolly Mammoth Theater, where I take my wife to plays on occasion, have in the past anyway. I haven't been to one in ages. What they got? Dead Inside is a new, heartbreaking, yet hilarious musical comedy show that allows Lindholm to tell her story while showing off her talents, Broadway world. Dead Inside, now on stage. Please use the other door. July 9th to 27th, so it's over. 25 to 26 season. November 12th to December 21st. Ho, 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 ha, 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 ha. The World to Come, February 3rd to March 1st. So it's going to be a while for the Woolly Mammoth again, I expect. This way it goes. It's been a long time, but I did see plays there fairly regularly with Lynn in our courtship years and early marriage. We're very close to the Shakespeare Theater, 7th Street, land home building. I don't even recognize this place anymore, hardly. Thank you. Whew. I'm going to walk up that way. Yeah, why not? Place to block. Time is 2:33, 2:34, but close. I usually like to be watching when it turns to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, like that. So, I'm particularly fond of 124. Okay. No more comments. Not even sure if I even got any with me. I had up to 13 others tuning into the passing show, such as it is. If you do hang with me, that's amazing. I don't know why. But it's all getting recorded. It's pushed out onto YouTube, various feeds, thanks to being on Substack. Damn, it's loud here. Ah, yes. What is this building called again? Landsberg. 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 Garage. There's the entrance to the theater across from Carmine's. Carmine's over there. Soul Spice, Gregor's Coffee. Everything's always changing. King John. Taming of the Shrew. I've seen that recently. Petruchio is hated. Shannara Gabrielle is the director. Okay. King John, written by Aaron Posner, who's a classic Shakespeare director. That's over. So is Taming of the Shrew. Oh, well. Aleo is still here. And Aleo is delightful. Changed the recipe. Jose Andres, one of his restaurants. We love it. Yes, we do. Do I want to cross? Yes, I do. Merry Wives, Parliament Hall. When was that? I don't see the dates. Dates on there? This is order today. Oh, it's September. It's coming September 9th to October 5th, the Merry Wives of Windsor. Watch out for them. They will do a job on you. Street pizza, plus away. Street burger. Sworn that was something else fairly recent. Fairly recently means within the last 2 decades. way I do things, saw it in those buildings. And this has been fun. Probably more fun than a body ought to be allowed to have. You know what I'm going to do? So I'm going to take in the Smithsonian American Art Museum. When I came by yesterday, it was before their opening time, but they opened at 11:30, so I can go in and cool off, think about whether or not I want to take the metro home or not, and yeah, hop the metro if I do, and otherwise walk. I've walked a lot though to get down to Union Station, look for the National Guard, find the National Guard, film the National Guard, not putting their hands over their hearts when the national anthem was being sung very nicely by a man at the top of the metro, but it's, maybe it's only you do that when it's official. I thought we cover our hearts when they sing the national anthem. God darn it. Yeah, Capital One Arena. Oh, GDIT. It's combat power, critical advantage. Our tech moves fast, so you can move first. Boom. AI. What can AI do for you? Computer Trade Products Incorporated wants to know. Dell Technologies advertising there. Counter Trade Products Incorporated, that is. My sports. Oh, there's some billboards for you. Chinese hackberry, too. Witnessing a century change. That's the hackberry tree. Look at that yellow. All that yellow. All that yellow. It's gorgeous. A lot of steps to take to go up to the National Gallery of Art. American Gallery. Smithsonian American Art Gallery. There we go. And National Portrait Gallery. It's pottery across the way. Hotel Monaco. I wonder how Stu Spurn is doing. Thinking of Hotel Monaco reminds me of Stu Spurn, family lawyer. Miss that guy. I'd like to talk to him sometime. Might be fun. He's a fifer. So, we have that in common. Red lantern fly down the steps. Like red lantern flies at tolls. Free admission. No firearms. No fun. Also, no drugs or knives, scissors, spray, no animals. They have to refine it, but it's like the star power. Experience America. Let's go experience America. The struggle for justice, sight lines, the shape of power. Check it all out. Keep on looking. Up. Coming into view. There it goes. And I'm almost out of power, it looks like, down to 20%. So I think I'm going to cut the show now. Thanks for joining. It's been a pleasure having you all along. I do have a battery for backup power. Someone bring it? I didn't bring it. So we're going to go power off, head for home, get under cover, and hope for the best. In the meantime, remember, you can always create your own world. This has been done. Right there. James Hampton. Out here. Thanks for joining.